Welcome to the Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast by Business English with Christina. If you want to be confident speaking English, network with professionals around the world, and practice speaking to become fluent faster, join us. We have 9 conversation sessions every week. Plus, podcast listeners get a 50% discount on the first month of membership with the discount code FFCC50. The link to join is in the show notes. Now, let's go. Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. Biggest challenges you face when learning a language. Hello, Christina here for your Faster Fluency Conversation Club podcast. I hope that you are having a lovely month of May. Spring has sprung and summer is just around the corner. In fact, we're about halfway through spring. The weather's getting lovely. And I'm here with Sheila today. Sheila, how are you doing?
Hi, Christina. I'm doing very well. I think spring is also sprung here.
Yeah. Where are you right now?
I'm in Cape Verde. It's
Okay.
also known as Cabo Verde.
Oh, nice.
And I have a runny nose, so it may be that when you listen to me speak, I sound like I have, a stuffy nose.
Cold. Okay. Well, hopefully it'll go away sooner rather than later. Maybe it's
Exactly.
pollen or something like that, all those things.
If
Right.
the listeners are like, well, she sounds really different today, that's why.
That's why.
FYI.
Runny nose. That's it. Okay. Well, let's see. So we're going to talk about the biggest challenges that you face when learning a language. You have learned, how many languages do you speak?
About 6 languages.
Okay, right. So I would say you know what you're talking about here.
You do too.
Well, true. Yeah, true. As I speak 2 languages fluently, and then 2 languages I would say at a tourist level. That's Italian and German. And my latest language learning project, following my marathon in Madrid, is now learning Spanish.
Amazing.
Because I feel like it's I feel like it's going to be a relatively easy language to learn, and also just a super useful language for, it's very much spoken in the US.
Yes.
So many people in the world speak Spanish. So I'm like, hey, it's time to learn Spanish.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. So I guess we can combine our experience and say, what are some of the challenges that we have faced or that our listeners may face when learning a language? In your opinion,
Yeah, for sure. I think for me, especially learning my first language, I just got extremely nervous. It's a new experience. You just want to get it right.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you speak, it just doesn't come out.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you just get very nervous. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think also it's like you want to, they say, oh, be like a child and whatnot. Like, yet children are not afraid of making mistakes because they haven't learned that, you have to, make an impression, appear intelligent and whatnot. But when we are adults, we have sort of that pressure and desire, I think, to look and to sound somewhat intelligent.
Right. Exactly.
But we know that if we're speaking with, I would say, maybe the language level of a 5-year-old child, but we're maybe 45 years old.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to make a fool out of myself. And now I'm nervous and I don't want to say anything. So maybe, maybe it's just
sorry, just the initial buildup. You put so much pressure on yourself in wanting to speak it correctly because you're not a child, you're an adult. But
exactly. Yeah. It's like your language skills are not up to the level of your intellectual skills, and you have to do that work. But yeah, I think part of the challenge of learning a language is also, of course, learning the language itself, but also it's overcoming your fear of, not being understood, maybe not understanding others, and being okay with looking a little, I don't want to say stupid, because I mean, if you're speaking to someone and they know that you don't speak their language or that you're learning, you don't look stupid. You look like you're trying and you're making an effort.
But maybe you feel stupid.
But you might feel stupid. Exactly. Right. So maybe you have to overcome that fear of having to not be at the level that you wish that you were at. But the more that you do that and you face that situation, you practice, the closer you get to the level that you want to be at.
Exactly. And I think too, the fear comes in if you have already had an experience where someone doesn't understand you or you don't
Right.
understand, and you kind of keep that trauma in your mind, right?
Yeah.
And so that fear is definitely
There.
a big challenge. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think it's part of it is you just have to accept that, all right, I'm not going to feel totally comfortable. I'm going to go out of my comfort zone and I'm going to
Exactly.
try it. And I might succeed in this little situation and I might not. But either way, I always feel the fear and do it anyway. Hey, feel that fear, do it anyway. If you're just starting out learning a language, probably the worst that's going to happen is the communication doesn't work and you can
Right.
make hand gestures or drawings, or
Exactly.
you'll find a way to get your message
Exactly.
across.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Hand
And
drawings.
yeah, that's it. So yeah. I would say maybe another challenge. I feel like can be a challenge. It's really like mixing it up a lot with like how you're learning a language, because often we
Mm.
tend to, maybe like find one or two resources that we really like that we know how to use, so it's easy for us to use and to continue using just a couple of resources. But we have an expression in English, which is variety is the spice of life,
Mm.
meaning it's the fact of having different things, which makes life interesting. And I feel like it's the same. Variety is the spice of language learning.
Yeah.
Because if you're mixing up your resources, like you're doing some listening of different resources, you're doing some speaking, you're working on some grammar, you're working on vocabulary, and getting things from different sources and different places, it kind of creates like an atmosphere where you're surrounding yourself with the language, you're immersing yourself in it, and
Mhm.
you're just in the language. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a challenge to just being
Mm,
able to immerse yourself in the language when you're learning from a book, or just finding people to speak the language with, people
yeah.
who will support your efforts in learning a language. I think that's also a challenge for sure.
Right, exactly. And I almost like I don't want to like put a plug for FFCC, but I feel like this is like that's part of what FFCC offers is, yeah, it does
Exactly.
offer the place for people to come and practice and have different resources and whatnot, but it's also you're in that community of people who are there supporting you because they're doing the same thing as you and going towards that same goal. And it's a very positive environment. And when you're taking on any new project, like learning a language, like you really want to surround yourself with people who, support your project and support you in
Exactly.
your learning and your mistakes and going out of your comfort zone and all of that. So, yeah.
Exactly, for
Right.
sure. FFCC definitely helps with that because everyone understands the challenges that you're going through because they are the
Everyone
same challenges.
has been there and has done that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Sheila. We're going to get into the vocabulary for this episode. And
Sounds
yeah,
good.
talk to you in like 2 seconds.
Sounds good.
Thank you for listening this week. If you want to do more than just listen and you want to practice speaking vocabulary and get the confidence in English that you need for your career, become a member of the Faster Fluency Conversation Club today. And if you want to try the club, we'll give you a guest invitation to a free first session so that you can see for yourself how awesome this club is. To arrange your guest invitation, email us at contact@ChristinaRubafe.com and just ask. We'll take care of you.